Well, again, we did the numbers, right? We grabbed the calculator and had a look. 18 and under, what is it, $175,000. $1 trillion divided by every person who is under the age of 18, Chris, is $175,000. Now, I get it. It isn't the individual, it's the country. And the whole point is this. For every dollar we have to spend, so in this case, next year, $28 billion, that's $28 billion that we don't spend defending ourselves, feeding the homeless.
Or allowing people to keep their own taxes, their own hard-earned money. I mean, it's essentially criminal what they're doing to the budget here. It is intergenerational theft.
Absolutely.
And the other thing I think that's at the core of all this, and it's hardly mentioned, of course, today, is energy and the self-harm we're doing to ourselves here. It's hurting families, it's hurting small business, it's forcing manufacturing and big business offshore, and it's all deliberate. This government is pretending it can change the global climate by destroying our energy grid. No other country, no other modern country even attempting to do this because they know it can't be done. They mock a nuclear alternative even though most of the developed world is going to nuclear because they want to get rid of emissions. Yet this is increasing the costs of everything we do, reducing the power of our economy and getting rid of investment. And now they're borrowing more money because everything extra spending now is borrowing more money to throw people rebates to try and keep their power bills down. Absolutely criminal.
I think I mentioned it in a haze, my memory of the past 20 minutes, but there's about my anger, about what's happening here. The bar is so low for the left when it comes to this government that it goes from, and I'm going to play out a little metaphor here, all right? If you've ever walked up to a poker machine and you've seen $5 in it and you've gone, well, no one's here, all right, gamble, you win a bit. You get up to $100 and you really should walk away when you're up $100. This government has peed away $100 and has now gone to the ATM and got another couple of $100 to keep playing. Like, the idea that their narrative, Andrew, has been, we fixed the joint 2 times in a row, we had more money and we were able to pay, and now they want a gold star and to be returned to the job for 3 years when on their management it's totally evaporated. Yet again, what is all of the narrative out of the lockup? Surprise tax cut, surprise tax cut. No. The pilot of the plane has just whacked it into the mountain.
Well, what's so grossly irresponsible about this budget is that it's adding to the debt, $180 billion more debt from now to 2019, $180 billion. At a time when you've got very low unemployment, so you're not paying out a lot on welfare, and you're getting a lot in taxes. You've got mass immigration, that adds to the tax take as well. You've actually got growth at the moment, we're not in recession. You've got all this going for us, and they still are going deep, deep, deep in the red, and further in the red than they thought just a year ago, right? At the same time, in this budget speech, Chalmers says, well, actually, the outlook ahead is really not good. I mean, you know, you've got China maybe going to recession, you've got tariff wars, you've got a couple of real wars going on, and all this is absolutely true. And world growth has been trimmed. Yet we've got nothing in the cupboard to deal with this. Should we need, you know, the whole stimulus thing again and all that kind of... It's being blown in good times, leaving us with nothing for bad times. I think this is so grotesquely irresponsible.
So again, let's take a breather and talk about the politics of this, right? What does $5 buy this government, Chris? Because I'm not sure it buys them a vote, but does it buy them a headline? Does it buy them a circuit breaker? Does it buy them sort of tactical advantage because with the Libs coming out and saying no, there's 2 days of no before we find out what they're going to do? And I'm going to get to our free advice to the opposition in a second. What does the $5 a week in a year's time buy the government?
I think everything we've seen from Jim Chalmers and Anthony Albanese in all of their political lives is supremely political, supremely short-term and political. And I think this tax cut ruse in the budget is entirely to get some decent headlines tomorrow, to have the Canberra Press Gallery talking about tax cuts instead of debt and deficit as far as the eye can see. And sadly, as you and I and Andrew know, it'll work with most of the media. It'll get them a few days of that and then they'll call the election and off they go. The tax cuts are not meaningful. It's not reform. They're swallowed up by bracket creep within a year or two anyway. So it is a short-term bit of politicking, and it's a $17 billion short-term bit of politicking.